Brakes on a boat? Are you kidding me? Brakes on a boat? Yeah, actually, brakes on a boat. Uh, can't actually call them crappie brakes. I think that name's already been taken by a guy in Grenada. But brakes on your boat to catch crappie with. That's what we're gonna call it. We'll call it boat brakes for crappie. How about that? Man, I'll tell you what. That's probably one of the best things I ever put on my boat besides Livescope. It makes I got spot lock. It makes spot lock so much better that you got so much more uh, boat control. Even if you don't have spot lock, man, if you don't have spot lock, that thing's to catch me out. Let me tell you, that's a whole lot cheaper than spot lock too. It when you're easing up to the fish with your spot lock, you can see out there, and just say the fish are 40 feet out. You can come easing in real slow, and about, I don't know, 35 feet or something like that. You start hitting the boat brakes and stop the boat before you get there. What happens is when you ease up to the fish and you hit spot lock, immediately the spot lock tries to stop the boat and back it up. It's going to go back to the spot when you hit that boat. Of course, when you're moving forward, it gets a GPS signal immediately right then. If you pass it, it throws it in reverse and backs up. Well, you prop wash the fish. All of a sudden, you see your fish swimming off. You wonder why they swim off. Well, because you just made a heck of a lot of noise and scared the fool out of them. What happened? If you ease up there real easy, in about 30 feet, I mean, I like to fish about, I don't know, 20 feet out, 25 to 30 feet out. Probably my sweet spot is I'm pitching 12 feet. That's generally about what I like the best, to be honest with you. But anyhow, if when you easing up, you let off the gas, let the boat kind of cruise in there real slow, and then you start hitting those back brakes right there. And man, that boat will stop. On these days when there's no wind, the boat wants to drift around, and the spot lock's always trying to correct itself, making all kind of crazy noise there. You don't have that problem either. So when there's no wind, you just bump that thing backwards once in a while, and that motor's always trying to go forward to keep it on that GPS spot. So there's kind of like a battle going in between them. So the boat don't swing around this way, that way, and the motor's steadily correcting itself and making all kind of crazy noise, because you can control the forward motion, which is what happens when there's no wind. The boat's trying to drift forward, throw the motor trying to stop you. So they're just fighting each other. If you spider rig it, I still like spider rig. It's sounds crazy, but sometimes it's just relax to go out there and, I got a little adapter I put on my mount that I made. Just got my spider rig pole holders on it there, and man, I'll sit out there and just cruise around with my Livescope with 4 poles sticking out in front. And if I see fish on a tree, I'll ease right up there to them, and I'll never hit the spot lock. I'll just ease up and start bumping those brakes, and it'll stop. And you can see your jig stopping right in front of the fish, and all of a sudden, slam, you one of them collaborate there, and then all 4 of them will go down at one time. That's what's fun. Then you got a tangled up mess, but you got 4 fish at one time. That's a lot of fun. And if you don't have Livescope in your spider rigging, before we had Livescope, of course, we used these little yellow markers, you throw them out there and drop them on your fish. I always had the a side imaging for a long time, so I'm pretty accurate on hitting the spots. So if you don't have Livescope, you could ease up there with those spider rigs and hold that boat dead still at that marker without running over your fish. It's just it makes everything so much better. Just hold. I mean, if you don't have spot lock at all, use it, because it'll hold that boat still. Of course, you won't. You bump the trolling motor forward as you have, real easy, and then if it starts going too far, just hit your back brakes and stop the boat. And you kind of just bounce them back and forth, real easy like. But the trolling motor, I got it pulled up here on my iPad. There, it's real cheap. A whole heck of a lot cheaper than any spot lock you'll ever run into. I can tell you that. We had a guy on the channel there that asked me if I would do a video on the trolling motor, or the boat brakes for crappie, we're gonna call it, and show them how it was wired up, and how I mounted it, and all that kind of stuff. Well, these old boats right here are kind of easy to mount, you know, because they're built more like a John boat than they are like typical bass boats today. So it, you know, it was real simple to mount on this. I got the trolling motor pulled up here on my iPad. I just let you see that real quick. Let me get the camera down here. All right, that's just a trolling motor. That's a Walmart app right there, and you can see it's see the brand name of it. See if I can find the price of it. It's not that there. There it is right there. That's $138.51. And just missed a sale on it. I think they had it on sale on Labor Day, so I should have done this thing a few days ago. But let me walk you around here to where the trolling motor is and show you what I got. This is the trolling motor. Now, what most people do with these things right here, they take all this junk here off of it. You just take the bolts out of the bottom of it, disconnect all this right here, pull the wires out of it, and all you have left is just the tube. And it looks a little bit probably more professional, you know, if you just had a tube sticking up back here. But this, to me, that makes a good handle. You know, I don't give a flip what I look like, to be honest with you. I just want to go out there and catch fish. And you can see it's mounted like the old trolling motors used to mount, you know. The clamps right on here. And of course, my transom, you know, is made, well, you can see how it's made. You know, it just clamps around it like the old style. Most of these fiberglass boats don't have this, so fiberglass motors, you're at a disadvantage. I hate it for you. No, I'm just kidding, man. I love fiberglass boats. They're so much more comfortable and smoother riding for sure. But they are all alternatives to mounting this thing. And some companies make a bracket that you can, if you have, what are these things called right here? Jack plate. There we go. Couldn't think of it for a minute. If you have a jack plate on your boat, you can take something like this piece of square tubing right here. It doesn't have to be this big. It's really kind of overkill, but it's all I had to give you that idea. And they mount it into the boats where your motor mounts on to the jack plate. So you could put a boat here and another boat here. Take that boat out and drill a hole. You know, you drill a bigger hole right here so you could get the boat through there and get to the back side of the nut. And bolt that on and put another one. I can hold it all. Let me show you. You know, put a boat right here and then put another boat right here. And it don't, I mean, you're not talking about a 30-pound thrust trolling motor. And let me tell you what, now, it don't take nothing to stop a boat. You said, well, 30 pounds ain't gonna stop my boat. Well, I know some guys that's got Rangers that put these things on their paddles and they stop just fine. So yeah, it will stop your boat. Man, you're not doing, you know, 40 miles an hour when you're creeping up on the fish. You're barely moving. So, you know, it does just fine. So, anyhow, you can bolt it down with something as simple as that. You just got to make sure you miss that steering arm right there where your steering cable hooks up. You got to make sure that's out of the way. If you can't find a piece of tubing like this right here, you can always go to a piece of angle. And you could probably, you know, I'll put it that way. You could bolt the angle iron on this way. Of course, all this is too long, but I'm gonna do the best I can to show you. But you can take a piece of angle iron, angle aluminum, and bolt it on like that right there. You know, to bolt something else to it, or you know, you can turn it that way and bolt something. I mean, there's just a million ways. What you have to do is go to your local sheet metal shop, and they throw this stuff away. Man, look at the size of that angle aluminum right there. That's strong stuff. They just throw this stuff in the dumpster, and I've never seen one that mind that you're getting it. So I got all kind of aluminum right here that I picked up like that. But the easiest thing to do, like I said, is to figure out some way or another. If you don't have a transom like this right here, is, you know, find something that you can bolt some way or another. You can bolt a bar to it and put it on there. Man, there's a lot of guys with a Ross Barnett that has these things already, and they fashioned a way on their on the transom there to hold it, so it ain't that hard. And like I said, most of the guys that I know that's got the big bass boats there, they take all this junk, all this stuff off the head, all this right here, just leave two wires coming out, wired up straight. I mean, you hook it up positive to negative arrow one way and it runs this way, and you hook it up the other way, it runs backwards. So it's just how you hook it, and you really want it on high anyhow, so it's not that big of a trolling motor. If you guys enjoyed the video so far and found it helpful, how about do me a favor there and hit that subscribe button? Man, I appreciate it. If there's a company out there that actually makes a bracket that bolts to the jack plates that works pretty good. Now, I didn't show y'all this, right? Let me show the jack plate right here. Just a minute. If you'll notice, this thing's got all these holes in it back here. You can actually bolt a bar across this right here and bring it up and then bend it in an angle. Aluminum's pretty easy to bend. You just put it over something sharp and just bang it with a hammer, man, it'll bend. If it sounds like it's going to break, just take your butane torch and heat it so it'll bend easier. But you can see there's plenty of holes to even on this side right here. You know, you can come down here in an angle and bolt it like there and there, and come up here and then bend a bar this way. And man, that would be real simple to mount these things on. So anyhow, let me show you what I got up here on the front of the boat. All right, I got a bunch of junk all over the boat right now because I've been kind of tinkering with stuff. I ain't got nothing else to do. This is a foot switch I got off of Amazon. The thing costs $8. And I mean, really, $8. It's momentary. You press it. If you look back at the back of the boat right there, when I press it, you see the motor come on. You press it, it comes on, take your foot off, it goes off. It's that simple. I said, that thing is $8. I'll shoot you all a link of that thing on there. It's easy to wire it up. The best way to do it, if you have an aluminum boat, all you have to run is one wire. You run it in here, you take one wire and you ground it. Or hook one of these wires coming out here to the boat. That's a ground. And then run the other wire from the back from the battery up here. If you have a battery up front, hook it to that one. It don't matter which one you use. But hook the other one to the other ground. So when you press the pedal, you're completing the ground. Now, on the back of the boat back here, that red wire you see coming out of the motor right there, you hook it straight to the battery. Don't hook it, I mean, put a fuse on it, of course. But don't hook it to that switch. The only thing to hook to that switch is the ground. The ground will complete the circuit. So you don't have to run a hot wire up there and worry about burning your boat down. Just run a ground up there. So a lot simpler than what you actually think it would be. And get some of this back out of the way right here, and I'll show you how I got it hooked up. Well, you ain't gonna be able to see it. Under here, I got lithium batteries under here, so. But one of these, yeah, that right there is going to the motor. See, I just got a regular old fuse on it. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, because I can't see what I'm showing you. And the other wire, the black wire, is going up front for the ground, and it just completes the circuit up there. Now, if you have a fiberglass boat, you will have to run two wires. You'll have to run a wire up there and a wire back to complete the ground, or to complete the circuit rather. So aluminum boats, you just run one because your boat works as the other wire, you know, so it's pretty easy to hook up. You know, sometimes when I'm up here fishing, I won't even be using spot lock. You know, most of the time I'm using this pedal right here. Reason why, because you think about it, if I'm fishing 20 feet that way, so the fish is 20 feet from that pole right there out in front of me, and the trolling motor is, you know, it's a 17-foot boat, so it's at least 17 feet away. Well, that's 37 feet. You know, I'd probably make a lot of racket with that thing if I wanted to, and it wouldn't bother the fish. So when I'm easing up and I'm looking at fish right here, I'll be bumping on this motor right here real slow, and then I'll let off, and I can watch my graph, and I can see, you know, about where I want the boat to be at when I'm gonna make the cast, and I'll hit this switch right here and stop the boat. Now, I don't stay on it and see the boat start backing up. That's not what you want to do. You want to just stop the boat. Now, if the boat does start backing up, then reach over here and bump your motor just real light, you know, like have it on 2. and this kind of this fight back and forth between the two. I mean, it's not no fight. That's, you know, it's real simple to do once you kind of get the hang of it. And you'll strap this thing down to where you're sitting in your chair. You know, that's right there where you know, your foot can reach it real easy. And man, like I said, if you see me catch a fish, then I reach over there and I hit that spot lock. You a lot of times you'll hear me do it, or you'll see me do it before I walk to the back of the boat to put the fish up. Well, I didn't have the spot lock on to start with. I was using this to control the boat. I might have been using both. You know, I bump that thing there. If the boat starts drifting off to the side a little bit, I'll bump it back where it goes. And if it, you know, goes too far, I'll hit this right here. Now, one thing you want to make sure you do is when you put that thing on, get it as close to center as you can if you're just going to run one. The reason why is because it will actually turn that boat if you only have one. So if you have two, one on each side, you can actually steer this boat. You know, you can hit one, it'll turn the bow one way, and you use the other. So you'll have to have a double switch up here. But anyhow, that works really good. So that's my advice. If you do rig one there, you know, and you don't have spot lock, man, quit worrying about spot lock. It's an awful handy tool to have, and it's an awful expensive tool to have. This thing here's going to cost you $150 for the whole thing, and you'll hold that boat dead still. Now on a windy day, spot lock, man, you got to have it. You know, I can't hold the boat still with this thing because the wind is blowing you all over the place. The waves are coming over the front of the boat, and you got waves hitting you from the side when boats come by. So you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to hold the boat really nice on a nice calm day when it's enjoyable to fish anyhow. Anyhow, that's it, guys. Man, you can't beat these things. It's like I said, this is probably the best thing I put on the boat other than the Livescope. And I got a lot of junk on this boat. I ain't gonna tell you. I mean, I don't lie to you. I got stuff everywhere. I need to put my direct TV satellite dish on top of this motor, and I think I'd be completed then. But like I said, you can stop this boat and hold it still. One guy asked me, how in the world do I hold my boat still? He asked about on one of the videos, or how I hold that boat so still. He's never seen a spot lock work that good. Well, it ain't the spot lock is working that good. It's this motor right here that's doing this thing. Like I said, you can hit that split pedal up there and the turbo at the same time. They fight each other. They won't go forward, they won't go backwards. And that holds the boat in a straight line, just like if the wind was blowing. All right, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video there. If I could help you in any way, just leave a comment, and or actually I got my email address in the description. I always put it in there, so y'all more than welcome to send me emails when you need something, because I certainly don't mind. That's why I do these videos, because I want you guys to have as much fun fishing as I do. And so anyhow, man, I hope y'all enjoy the video. I hope y'all all figure out some way or another to put you some boat brakes for crappie fishing on your boat, because let me tell you, that's the cat's meow right there, man. That right there will help you catch more fish. It's a lot quieter than spot lock, because you're not going to spin that motor around and prop wash those fish, and you're not going to be fighting on a no wind day. It's going to be a whole lot better. Well, guys, that's it. Maybe I help you. I hope I did. If you can't figure out how to mount the thing there, you know, if you get one, just leave me a comment on this video, and I'll see it, and you know, shoot me a picture of your transom or whatever you got on the back of your boat back there. Maybe I can come up with some kind of idea that'll work. Anyhow, let me know. Thanks a lot. I'll see y'all guys later.